Hey everyone, welcome back to the Broke Coder. In this video, we'll be creating a Python bot that goes to your email account, takes all of those long subscriptions that you have that you find hard to click on each one, go to unsubscribe and then unsubscribe. It's going to open all of those web pages for you. So without much further ado, let's get started. First of all, what you'll need to do is you need to make sure you have some libraries installed for Python. So for that, what you're going to do is you need to hit Windows Run, go in Command, and in Command Prompt, you need to install libraries such as Beautiful Soup. Hold on, that's the wrong spelling. Beautiful Soup 4. Now what this does is it's basically used for understanding the HTML text. Then you need to install IMAP client. Now what IMAP client does, it establishes the connection between your system and the mail system. And as the last one, what you need to install is pip install lxml. Now that is just a parser. Now what a parser is, it's just used to how do I put it in easy terms, understand the web content again. This is a bit different, this is a bit different, don't worry about that. You just need to install all three of these, and once you're done, now what you need to do is go to your Google account settings, and there's a few things you need to change over there. So like here, if I go here, and you need to click on manage your Google account. Once you're there, what you need to do is you need to go into your security tab over here, and you'll need to turn off your two-step verification just for as long as the script is going to run, because if that's on, then it won't allow your script to run. And you can go down here and you need to turn on the less secure app access. That's again for allowing your program to access your Google account. And as an example for this tutorial, I'll be using a Google account that I have in stock. It's not a problem. And I have to, apart from all of the other mails, I have two test mails here. One of this just say, let's hope this works out. This would be the link. So this is just a link that says unsubscribe, but it actually leads to google.com. And this other link in this other mail just links to facebook.com. So it's not actually an unsubscribe link, it just says unsubscribe. Our program's goal would be to reach these mails. Now, let's get started with writing the actual code. Now what I actually have here is an empty Python file. I'll be writing this in IDLE, and I have already created a Python file saying mail info, in which I'll be storing my email and password. I'm not going to enter my email and password in front of you guys. Why do you want my email and password anyways? So let's get started. First we'll be importing a package called web browser. This is used to open websites, and then we import IMAP lib, then we import bs4, which is short for beautiful soup, then we import email. While we'll be using email, will become apparent later on. And from mail info we import star, because I created a bunch of variables in there that store my email address and my password, so it'll be helpful for me to get that. And the first thing you need to do is you need to say imap dot maxline equal to 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. This basically sets that so that the size that can be accepted by your program, by your mail client, can exceed 10 million bytes. Otherwise it will get stuck if it's anything bigger than that. Now we define a server variable that says imap.gmail.com, and we define a port number to be used by us, and that would be 993. Now these are just the default settings, you can get them from the internet. You need to change these if you're doing for any other Google, other than Google anything. And we'll be describing a client method here, I mean client variable here, sorry about that, and this would be IMAP lib dot IMAP4 underscore SSL. Now what SSL here stands for is just encryption method. You don't need to worry much about that. So what you need to pass here is two arguments, your IMAP server and your IMAP port. Once these two are done, you can just say client login, and here you'll need to provide your email ID and password. Luckily I have mine in a different folder, so I won't be writing them in front of you guys. Take that, YouTube. Now whenever you're trying to work with websites, things are bound to get wrong. Your program might not understand what the website is trying to say, so it's always good practice to have have web content inside try and catch blocks. So I'll be implementing this here, exception as E, and I'll just say print E so that I get to know what error has occurred, if any, in my code. Now what I'll be doing is I'll say my client, you go and select inbox. Now what it does is it goes to my email ID and selects all of the mails that are in the inbox, and I say read only is true because I don't want them to be deleted or moved by accidentally or by mistake. That's why I say only read. And what this returns is it actually returns two variables. One is the type and another one is the actual data. We don't need the type, so we just store it in a dummy variable which we are not going to use, and we say just say data. 3 points for originality. Great. And then from this data we can extract the number of messages we have. So let's say number of messages, and let's say int of data of 0. That's where the messages are stored. Now if we try printing this, we should be seeing the number of messages in my inbox. I mean the one that I just showed you guys. So if I run this now, okay, it says no module name web browser. Did I? Oh yeah, my bad, that's a wrong spelling. Browser. Yeah, all good now. Okay, what the hell? It says IMAP is not. What is wrong with me? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? It's just IMAP lib. Sorry, my bad. I should not be making any more mistakes. Yeah, it prints out 11. That means we have 11 emails in our inbox. Okay, we don't need this anymore, so let's just get it out of the way. And what we can now do is we can say your client, you need to go and search. What will you search? You'll search with the none-char set, and the criteria will be all. Now you can provide tons of different criteria that you can check up on the IMAP lib documentation. There's since a specific date, after a specific date, get the idea. We'll be just taking all of them. Don't do this if you have tens of thousands of mail, otherwise your Chrome will kill your laptop or PC. Now what this client.search returns is again a dummy variable that we won't be needing. I mean, it returns type, but we won't be using that, and we will be and search data. So that's what we'll be searching it, storing it as. Again, 10 points for originality. Now we have search data, so we'll try to iterate through it, and we say for nums in search data of 0, because that's where the data that we want is stored, and we split it because it will be in a one continuous strings. And what search data actually has is it has unique IDs. It has IDs of each and every mail. So if I try to print out this nums, I store it, if I run it, I get this weird looking thing. Now what here, B is just none of our concern right now, but 1 here is a unique integer that represents an email. It's a unique identifier for an email. We don't know what that email is, and we don't need to. The system handles that for us, so we don't need print again, so we'll get rid of that. And then we say again data, because we'll be calling client as usual and we don't need one of its outputs. Seriously client, why do you give this? We will use fetch, and what fetch does, it is uses that unique identifier and it uses a format called RFC822. And why we use that is because that's what the internet mail use, and it parses them. It makes them sure that, okay, I'm getting this email and it has to be in this format, so it'll bring it for us. And once we have that data, we can check out that data. If you say a comma b equals data of 0, and if I say print a, and if I say print b, why did I take a and b? Because data of 0 returns two variables, no, returns two types, two objects, and I need to store them separately. So once if I go ahead and run this, now I should be seeing, hold on, let me just make this smaller so that it's, yeah, now it says that's what it says here. It says B1, the first mail, it has 390 lines and it's squeezed. Second one has so many lines, so and so, so and so. The 10th mail has 174 lines, it's squeezed, and so on. If let's open the smallest one, if I double click it, it opens it. Okay, this is some jargon. We can make some of these. We can make out authentication results. Here it says permitted sender, so and so, so and so. More often than not, it's not understandable, not a problem. That's what we're here to fix. So we don't need a, because a just prints out this stuff over here. We don't need that. We need the text. So bye bye a, we won't be using you anymore. What we can do is, again, we use a dummy variable where we won't be taking any of that stuff, and we'll say that goes into data 0, so that we only use b now. And then what you can do is say email message is email dot message from bytes. So what it does is it takes that message, whatever message that we got, which is stored in b, it converts them from bytes to a proper email format. Like there's a lot of unreadable stuff here even for a machine, and it converts them into a proper email message. And why this email? That's why we had to import this email over here for. Now if you try to print email, you should be seeing a proper email looking like thing. Let me show you what I mean. Wait, what did I do now? How is that? Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, my bad, I did that wrong. The indentation was wrong over there, so I'm just gonna have to, yeah, okay, this should work now. Now it should be printing things that actually look like a mail. Okay, it's again doing this squeeze lines thing. Okay, but hold on, let me just stop this here. And if I open one of them, it now looks more readable. Like there's an intro line, and yeah, this part over here, that's where we get our mail. It says hey this and that, so it's starting to look a lot more like mail. So that means we're getting things done now. Again, we don't need to print this, so we'll get rid of that. And after that, now what we need to do is, again, we'll need to iterate through this email message, because again, that's a kind of a list. We'll say for part in email message, and we won't just say, we'll say walk. Why? Because we need to traverse it. It's a list, and we'll be traversing it in a special way, because it's not just a normal list, it's a document tree. We'll say if that part, whatever part we are on, is the content type, I mean the get content type, same as text slash HTML. I mean, if the text is like HTML, then what you need to do is you need to get a body. You need to store in that body variable part.get.payload. Now what part.get.payload does is it extracts the body from the email, so that you don't have to worry about who sent it or whatever. It just gives you the body, and that's what we need here. That's where the link is going to be stored, the unsubscribe link. And then now comes the fun part. We just say soup equals beautiful. Is that the correct spelling? I don't think so. It's wrong. I don't think it's wrong. So it's beautiful soup, and then we pass it body, and then we say LXML, the parser we installed previously. That's who's gonna parse it, and then we say links equals soup dot find all. Now what this find all does is it goes there, extracts all the anchor tags, the link tags in the HTML file, in this email file, and it brings us back. But we don't need all links. We only need the links that are saying, hey, this is a link for unsubscribe. That's what we need. So this is the for loop for making sure only the unsubscribe things will go. So I'll just put a comment here saying loop for checking unsub. That should be enough. And then what you need to do is you need to say if unsubscribe is present in selected.text.lower, so that even if it's uppercase, or the first letter is uppercase in some cases, or if all of them are uppercase in some cases, it will still get recognized. We say, let's just go with print for now. We say print the selected links href hyperreference, which means it will just print the link. It will just print the link for the unsubscribe option. If we save this and if we run it, it's gonna take a moment, and it says beautiful soup is not defined. Oh, right, because we used bs4 here. I did not just, yeah, you need to import bs4 dot beautiful soup. And once you save that and you hit run, what actually happens now is you start getting these. You start getting the links. You actually start getting the unsubscribe links, and these are the two links that I put there by myself. Those two dummy messages saying www.google.com and www.facebook.com. So our program works. And if you want them to get opened, it's, oh, I should not have, never mind. What you need to do is you need to say web browser dot open, and you just need to pass in the link selected dot get href. That should do it. Now if I run this, my Chrome should get totally crazy and open up, what, about 4 links at the same time. And there we go. My Chrome goes haywire. It opens up 4 pages. One of them's on YouTube. I'm not even gonna open that. One of them's on Facebook. That's what I put it. One of them's on GitHub. Apparently that's a real one, a real unsubscribe link. It's asking me to unsubscribe. So you get the point. That's how the bot works. It's simple, easy enough, and with a little tingling bit you can make it to work for any other mails such as Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Hotmail, whatever flies your game. And with that, we come to the end of this video. I'll be uploading this program on my GitHub page under a different repository name. I'll leave the link in the description below, and I hope you guys followed everything through that. If there's any errors or any problems you're facing, hit me up in the comments or let me know, and I'll get back to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let your friends know if you think they're interested in this kind of stuff, and I'll see you next time.